Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the API front-end generator. What is the API front-end generator? The API front-end generator, it's an application that we provide in the context of micro gateway. Okay, it allows you to generate your own Postman collection, okay, based on the open API specification of your choice, right? So here, very important, the open API, the API front-end generator takes a simplified version, okay, of open APIs, okay. So in the context of micro gateway generate and make available simplify what we call simplify open API specification, okay. Those open API specification can be taken, injected in the API front-end generator, and the API front-end generator will output for you a Postman collection that will allow you to test the API of your choice, right? So here's the beauty that you can customize the Postman collection, okay, and generate your own. Okay, you can, for example, remove the APIs that you don't use, or you can add the API that maybe are missing, or customize API that you need, right? But in the context of micro gateway, again, they have to be simplified open API specification, okay? And then you will be able to turn them into a Postman collection. Okay, so quickly, what is a simplified open API specification? Again, that's in the context of micro gateway. Micro gateway download what we call golden open API specification. Okay, automatically from a remote repository. Okay, the Swift API, and micro gateway will convert them and translate them into a simplified version. That's what we call simplified open API specification. Okay, in the context of micro gateway, those API are available in the OAS repository of micro gateway. Okay, you can actually take them to generate your own Postman collection. Right, so that's for the context. Okay, we use Open API, the API front-end generator here at Swift, for example, to automate our Postman collection. Okay, so all the Postman collections that you find under micro gateway are automatically generated by the API front-end generator. It's a beautiful tool to automate any Postman collection generation, or even to amend them, right? So in this video, we are going to see together how you can generate your own Postman collection, okay, and how you can modify it, okay? So let's go straight to it. So inside the micro gateway delivery, right, you will find that there is a folder called frontend, right? So in frontend, then you have the front-end generator, the API front-end generator. Okay, so if you open that folder, right, you will see there is 3 other folders: bin, doc, and tarball. So under bin, you will find the binaries and the main structure. So meaning the configuration and the open API specification default and the output. Okay, we'll come back to that. Then you will have, obviously, we provide as well a documentation, which is a PDF document with explaining in five steps how you can actually generate your own code and make a modification to it. Okay, we go through the documentation together. We also provide a tarball, which is basically the code source of the front-end generator. So the code source, what it is, it's a Node.js application. So if you have a Node engine, okay, you will be able to run the API front-end generator yourself directly in command line. Okay, you can also include it in your CI/CD pipeline, like we do here at Swift, to generate micro gateway Postman collection automatically. Okay, but we are going to do coding here together on this video. We are just going to show you how you can actually use the tool by yourself. Okay, so if we open the documentation, okay, very quickly here, okay, that's the PDF documentation I was talking about. So we can do everything step by step. So what do we need? First, we need to pick up a simplified version of OpenAPI that we want to work with. Okay, that we want the Postman collection for. Okay, so again, micro gateway simplify OpenAPI spec. Okay, we need to pick up one. Okay, and after we need the binaries to actually translate this OpenAPI specification. We provide two binaries by default, one for Windows and one for Linux, depending on the environment you are on. Okay, so you will find those binaries here. So if you come here under pin, okay, you will see the binaries are right here. Okay, so that's for the binaries. You need the binaries, you need the OpenAPI specification. Okay, and here there is a quick explanation about what you need if you want to run the code yourself. Okay, with Node.js engine. So you will require a Node version 16.16, okay, but we are not going to do any coding together, like I said. So the next step here is to download the package. So we have already seen the package together. The package, okay, the binary, the configuration file, the OpenAPI specification for which you want to generate code for, okay, and the output folder, meaning the Postman collection, where the source will be generated. So step 2 is to configure the front-end generator. So to configure the front-end generator, okay, you have to come here. Okay, you have to go to config, okay, and you need to edit that file. Right. So the configuration of the API front-end generator is quite straightforward. Okay. So before we go into the details, okay, the configuration is not mandatory. Okay. The configuration here is purely to simplify the process, right? The configuration here, it will allow you to generate a Postman collection that will come preset. Okay, so meaning the Postman collection will have all the setups that you need for you to be pretty much ready to go and start testing micro gateway, right? So here you will be able to generate a Postman collection that will have, for example, a micro gateway profile already set, right? So you can set up the application name, the profile ID, and the share secret. Okay, and the Postman collection will have this. Okay, you can also specify here the collection name that you are going to generate. So you can give it a name and give it a version. So we are going to change this because this we want this to kind of to match with the micro gateway version we are going to use. So here it's a Swift micro gateway Postman collection. We are going to leave that name there. The application name here as well, we are going to leave it. And then that's a main key configuration, right? And then you can also set up advanced feature, okay? If you are familiar with JavaScript, Node.js, okay? You can actually set up as well authorization script, right? So with the Postman collection, okay, micro gateway Postman collection, when you generate or when you test with the product, you will find that most of the collections, they come with a signing encryption algorithm, okay, that allow you to sign JOT and calculate JOT, okay. Those scripts, okay, can be modified here, okay, if you are advanced and you feel like you need to change that, okay. This is doable. You can also change the authentication scheme here, which is a bearer, but micro gateway support bearers. This is not really a configuration that I would expect you to change. This should remain the same because your micro gateway will be always on the bearer authentication. Okay, a JOT bearer. Here, you can set up the environment for which you want to generate a Postman collection. By default, it's a pilot, live, sandbox, and internet. So if there is any environment here that you are not interested in, that you don't use, you can adjust. Okay, and then next you have as well some test script again, for advanced JavaScript coding, you can change the verification script if required. Okay, that's for the configuration. Again, the configuration is, like I said, it's not mandatory. This is purely optional if you want to improve and make the code generation more smooth. Okay, so that's what you get in configuration. So once you're happy with the configuration, the next step here is actually to generate your Postman collection. Okay, and we are going to go to do that very straight to the next step. So to generate here, okay, what we need is to unzip the package. So I've done that. I've unzipped the package. Okay, and when you unzip the package, you get basically bin, doc, and tarball. Okay, we are interested into bin. Inside bin, we have two binaries. We can see one for Linux and one for Windows. Under config here, we have the configuration of the product. Okay, we are going to make any change here. We are perfectly fine with that. What we might do is just probably, because we are not interested in sandbox and internet, we are going to do pilot and live. Okay, that's what we are going to do, and the rest we are not interested. In terms of and this is a location where you will find all the advanced Node.js JavaScript code that you need if you want to make any adjustment. Okay, but again, this is not the purpose of this video to do live coding. So under OAS here, we have selected an Open API specification for which we want to generate a Postman collection for. Okay, again, this is a simplified Open API specification. We can see it by the naming. Okay, you have the API name and you have underscore micro gateway, which means it's an Open API spec in the context of the micro gateway. So a simplified Open API specification. Okay, so we are going to generate here a Postman collection for API, GPI, transaction, and cancellation. Okay, we are also going to generate microservices that we have located here. Okay, so that's all for the Open API specification. The next step here is to define an output folder where we are going to generate our own Postman collection. Okay, so that's about it. So we are ready to go. So if I open a CMD here, I should be able to generate a Postman collection. Okay, so how to do this? Well, we need to type a command line. Yeah, so let's bring the command line. So the command line, it's a collection generator. So the name of the binary. Okay, collection generator Windows 64. Then it will take as a parameter the OpenAPI spec folder, okay, repository, and here it's OAS. Okay, we are going to generate a Postman collection for everything located here under OAS. Okay, so that means it's going to handle obviously the GPI transaction cancellation along with microservices, and the output will be here. Under .output, okay, and here we have specified the output being here the folder output. Okay, very straightforward, and the output follow again with the Postman collection name and the config directory. Here we have specified / config, okay, which is a current drive config. Okay, so that's good to go. So if we push this, that's it. Very straightforward. The Postman collection is generated. Okay, so once the Postman collection is generated, we are ready actually to load it into our Postman. So how to do it? Well, very simple, very straightforward. If we come here, okay, under Postman, and if we push import, okay, Postman is asking us to bring our Postman collection. So we can see here the name of the collection is with micro gateway 273, and if we import this, oh, I already have something with the same name, so I'm going to replace it. This is good. No problemo. And if we come here, this is our Postman collection. Okay, so the Postman collection will obviously match the configuration. So how do we know? How do we check that? Well, very simple. I'm just going to open the configuration so we can validate here what's going on. Okay, so If I come here, bin, config, collection, okay, so if we have a look together, okay, so we can see here already here the name of the collection, Swift Micro Gateway and version 2.17.3. Okay, that's what we have here, no problem at all. And we did select in our configuration pilot and live. That's exactly what we have here, pilot and live. Okay, and that's what the collection has delivered for us, pilot and live only. Okay, and there is nothing to do with internet. Okay, or sandbox, like for example here, where we have a collection for pilot live sandbox. Okay, that's the beauty of running the tool by yourself. You can customize all those properties and generate the Postman collection that fit your need. Okay, and if I go under pilot, I can see I only have one API. Okay, I only have the GPI transaction API. And I'm ready to make some call. Okay, so by default, we are going to localhost port node 9003. Okay, and this is ready to go. And if I come here under the main entry, I can see we have a jot bearer, the same way as the configuration suggested here. Okay, jot bearer, and we can see as well that we have a pre-request script that was explained already, and variable, which is to do with the micro gateway environment. Okay, which is set here. Okay, so just to show you again, the application name, the profile ID, and the share secret. Application name from share secret. So that's it, right? So the Postman collection is generated, and we can make call to micro gateway straight away, no problemo. Okay, so once this is done, you also have the capability to modify a Postman collection. So we have seen together you can generate a Postman collection, okay, and or you can load it in your Postman, okay. And then after you can make a call straight away, okay? You can make an API call, okay? And also you have the capability actually to modify a Postman collection. So what does it mean, modify a Postman collection? Well, let's say, for example, that you want to add a new OpenAPI specification to an existing Postman. Okay, so let's say, for example, let's go back to the OAS folder so we can explain this a bit more. So here we only use GPI tracker, transaction and cancellation, right? But let's say now tomorrow, look, I'm actually interested to use Allianz Cloud messaging, right? So you can, this is called an amendment. You are making a change to an existing Postman collection. So to do that, you will come here, okay? You will add your new OpenAPI specification. Again, it's a simplified OpenAPI specification, and here we have the name MGW, right? So we want to add this OpenAPI specification. That's very easy. Okay, so let me clear the screen here. So to do this, we just have to add the spec, okay, and we need to make the same comment, okay, with a different option, right? And the option to use is this. So again, we call the binary and we call the option modify collection. That's the key, modify collection. Okay, and modify collection, obviously, it will take the OpenAPI specification we want to add. Okay, so here it's cloud messaging. Okay, and the Postman collection we want to adjust. Okay, and that's going to be the Swift Micro Gateway Postman collection. Okay, which is under the output folder. Okay, and the configuration file will be the same, right? So if we run this, we will be able to modify the existing Postman collection and generate a new one that will have not one API, okay, GPI transaction at cancellation. Okay, it will also have a messaging API, right? So let's do that. Press enter. That's it. So the OpenAPI specification has been modified. So if we come back here under our output, okay, this is the modification. The modification has been done. Okay, when we can see the timing here, it has been done, which is correct. And what we are going to do now is to import this. So now, if we pay attention again, we just have GPI transaction. If we allow this, we should be able to see two OpenAPI spec. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. We are going to import that. Okay, and import is telling us, oh my God, we already have this API. We already have this Postman collection, so we are going to replace it, right? So if I replace it, okay, and if I come back under Open API here, which is 2.17.3, okay, pilot, and now here we go. Beautiful. We have now two Open APIs specification supported in our micro gateway Postman collection, right? We have GPI and we have cloud messaging, right? So if I come here, then I can make all those calls, beautiful call to micro gateway and test. Okay, so that's a way. That's how you do it. Okay, that's how you can generate your own Postman collection and you can modify it. Again, it's a tool that we use here at Swift in our CI/CD pipeline to automate any micro gateway Postman collection. Okay, that's a way to do it, and it works beautifully well. Very important point of attention. Okay, the amendment of the Open API specification, okay, is only supported in the context of the generator does it for you. Okay, you can't mix a manually amended Postman collection with automation done by the front-end generator, right? This is not supported. That's not a scenario supported, right? The scenario supported is the Postman collection is generated by the front-end generator, and the modification is also done by the front-end generator. You can't mix together modification done manually along with modification done by the tool. Okay, that's not supported. Okay, here the goal is to automate, obviously, automate and customize. Okay, very important. Automate and customize the Postman collection. Okay, and be able to amend it automatically at initialization. Okay, is to give you a quick start and a better way to smooth the process and have your own test environment. Okay, that's it for the video. If you have any question, do not hesitate to contact us, and we'll be more than happy to help.